basketball game in Northeast Ohio. We'll tell you what happened and what will happen next.
And straight from the Oscars, we'll tell you ways that you can incorporate red carpet fashion into your everyday look. And I have the explanation of a really cool phenomenon in the atmosphere called ribbon lightning. It's when wind and lightning meet. Makes a pretty cool spectacle.
Plus, Betsy, as we know, Friday is Valentine's Day. We're celebrating all week long with tales of love in the land. Today, what happens when love at first sight lasts 35 years?
Oh, my.
What's new starts now.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New with Betsy Kling and Jay Crawford.
And hello again, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. I hope you had a terrific weekend with Betsy Kling. I'm Jay Crawford. Here's what's new at 5 o'clock.
3 young kids reported missing from Maple Heights were found this morning inside an SUV. They were alone at a Cleveland gas station, but their missing mom still has not been located.
Drew Horansky has been following this story all day. He joins us now from Maple Heights with more. Drew, first of all, how are the kids doing?
Well, those kids were taken to Rainbow, and we understand tonight they are doing just fine. They are okay, but certainly a scary scene to arrive on this morning. When you see steamy windows, you know that there are children in the back of that SUV, and no adult is anywhere to be seen. We were the only news crew there today when those kids were put into safe hands. We were at the corner of East 131st and Harvard, a gas station parking lot where those 3 very young kids, all under 10, were confused and wrapped in blankets. The youngest of them, as you could see, was in an officer's arms. All of them placed in an ambulance, taken to Rainbow. While that search is on tonight for their mother, who police say has a criminal record tied to drugs. She is 27-year-old Tamika Pope of Maple Heights, and her mother reported her missing on Saturday along with her 3 kids. Today, we understand a man appeared to pull up to that gas station with those kids in Pope's Ford Explorer at that Sunoco gas station around 8 a.m. He was with them for about an hour and a half before he then simply just walked away. An hour later, police are called to the scene. They removed those kids from the truck with those windows steamed up, those kids inside that car not running. Now, tonight it is unclear who that man was, where Pope is, how he was able to get his hands on her car. We will stay on top of it and bring you another live update tonight at 6 o'clock. Guys.
A lot of questions. Drew Horansky, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Interesting story.
Now on your feet at 5, a basketball game gets too aggressive. A high schooler from Bellevue is accused of pulling a Norwalk player's ponytail, sending her to the ground. This is the girls' basketball game, and we have the video. We've circled the 2 girls involved, and after making the shot, it appears she pulls the other player's hair, and she then goes down immediately. Now, there it is again in slow motion. The family of the teen who went down says she's still recovering and being evaluated, although we do not know if she is injured as of this point. Now, Norwalk Superintendent Greg Fisk says he's talked to Bellevue's administration, who assured them they will take the appropriate action after their investigation. Bellevue told our news partners in Toledo they will not comment on student discipline. Jay, I would tell you, I have played girls basketball. Wow. Girls basketball is not the dainty little sport that people paint it as.
No.
And I have a feeling there is much more to this story than what we have just seen in that one clip.
I agree.
And so I think it's the best thing right now just to kind of chalk it up to, all right, this happened.
Move
Hopefully
along.
Everybody learns from it and let the parties take care of it as best they can.
Yeah, and because the schools aren't commenting, which is fine, we're talking about minors here, we may never exactly find out what it is behind what started that.
Right.
But, I mean, you played it. You
Yep.
know, oftentimes maybe you're upset with the way someone's defending you. This person has gotten under your skin, and then it looked like it was just a split-second snap reaction, and it happened, and it was over just that fast.
But we don't know what led up to that.
We
have no idea of the story. So
Yeah.
it's just one of those videos where you look at it and you go, gosh, I hope that really comes to fruition. I hope everybody takes care of it appropriately and we move on.
Absolutely. Next on your feet at 5, one of last night's Oscar winners has big ties to Northeast Ohio. Hair Love took home the statue for Best Animated Short Film. It was the brainchild of Matthew Cherry, who played football at the University of Akron before playing for 4 different teams in the NFL, including the Cincinnati Bengals. I strongly encourage you to watch the short film.
It's wonderful.
It's adorable. It's 6 minutes. It's on our website. It chronicles the first time a father has the task of doing his daughter's hair. It's a beautiful story with almost no words, but the animation more than tells the heartwarming tale. This I found fascinating. We dug this tweet up from 2016. Matthew Cherry tweeting, "Any 3D artists follow me? I got an Oscar-worthy short film idea to go with this image. Get at me." So he started this Kickstarter campaign,
which went bananas.
He wanted to raise $75,000. He thought that would get the product off the ground. It went nuts. They raised $300,000.
Yep.
Among the executive producers, in fact, one of the first listed, Andrew Hawkins. And if that name sounds familiar, that's because he was a wide receiver for the Cleveland Browns for a number of years just a few years ago. Also listed among executive producers, former Cavalier Dwayne Wade. He was involved in the project. Cherry dedicated his win last night to Kobe Bryant, who incidentally won the same Oscar in this category in 2018. Terrific story.
I was so excited. I literally was jumping up and down and just so thrilled, and my girls were thrilled about it too. So I think it's a cool thing.
Well, as a dad who once upon a time was charged with trying to do my daughter's hair.
You can barely do yours.
I remember, I don't do, I haven't owned a comb in 30 years. I remember when I was done, and I thought I was done, my daughter looked at me in the mirror and she sort of exhaled, like that exasperated exhale. She goes, "Daddy, are you done?" And I said, "I think I'm done." "Am I done?" She goes, "It doesn't look like when Mommy fixes my hair." I tried it a few more times, only when I had to. But I strongly admire anybody who can sit down and do that, because it's not a skill set that I was given at birth. And it's not one I ever learned either.
I love the father-daughter relationship that portrays. It's just that bond, and it is a special bond, and I think it's so wonderful. I'm just thrilled that they had such great success with it.
Great story.
Certainly. Well, flipping directions now, you got to talk about a moment of panic. Brides nationwide are scrambling because a venue suddenly closed. Noah's event venue, which has a location in Menor here in Northeast Ohio, filed bankruptcy and closed for good on Thursday.
Wow.
Employees had warning, but they never shared that with the customers who gave deposits. Now, our 3 News legal expert Stephanie Haney joins us now. Did employees have to disclose that information to their potential clients?
They didn't, and there's a couple of reasons
I'm
why.
I'm surprised at that.
Well, this started as a reorganization, so the company was not planning on closing. So that's a different type of bankruptcy.
Okay.
They were going to shift some things around and hopefully be able to stay in business. And it wasn't until Thursday that the judge looked at the finances and said, "We don't think that you can continue on like this. We're changing this to a Chapter 7 liquidation." But also, bankruptcies are public record. So something to keep in mind for the future, there is a database called PACER, P-A-C-E-R.
PACER.
Not that you would necessarily think to look something like that up, but that information is publicly available.
Well,
Maybe
it's a
if you're,
safeguard.
Yeah, getting ready to do a big event like that.
Sure.
Now, aside from the rescheduling nightmare, which I can't even begin to get my mind around, is there anything these couples can do to recoup the money that they've lost on their deposits?
So the company has come out and said that they are going to be in contact with clients. They said they're going to give priority to the brides and grooms that had events coming up sooner. So sort of like the people that had things coming up very quickly here to try and help them. But what you should do is reach out to the venue that you were connected with specifically. There are many of these locations across the country. First thing, try to get your money back that way. Second thing you should try to do is file a dispute with your credit card company. Hopefully you paid with a credit card and not a check. You have some additional protections there. And the reason you want to do this is you want to try and get your money back before they start taking their assets and paying off their creditors, because their creditors are going to have priority in the bankruptcy payoff.
Is that because they're owed larger sums of money, or just...
It's because they're secured creditors most likely, so
Okay.
they've put down some kind of security in exchange for money that they've given them.
Can't even imagine that nightmare. All right. Thanks for the clarity, Stephanie. Appreciate it. All right, let's get a check of some of the other stories making news at this hour. And for that, we go to Sarah Shookman. She's standing by at the news desk. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi guys, happy Monday to you all. Well, a rash of car break-ins have drivers angry and police on high alert. More than 40 cars were hit in just one Cleveland Heights parking lot overnight outside a senior living center. And this video from last week shows a man breaking into 4 cars on West 10th last Tuesday morning. Cleveland police think that same guy hit a car on Bolivar the same morning. Police now plan to step up downtown patrols overnight tonight. Well, the former superintendent of Wyndham Schools in Portage County is sentenced to a maximum 10 years in prison for having sex with a student and attempting to have sex with another student when she was the high school principal. Laura Amaro faces several charges, including sexual contact with a minor and sexual imposition. She must also register as a Tier 3 sex offender. And some great news now for East 4th Street. After a rough couple of weeks for restaurants, Chef Dante Bacuzzi will open his new sushi restaurant, Goma, in the old Canado location there on the end of East 4th and Prospect. This will be his first downtown restaurant. The menu will feature sushi, but also focus on hot food. And Bacuzzi revealed to 3 News food expert Doug Tratner the restaurant should open sometime this summer. Now, Bacuzzi first had talked about Goma introducing it for the Pinecrest development on the east side off of Harvard Road there to open last summer, but then he put those plans on hold. So it sounds like they've now moved that whole concept downtown, and this will be his 11th restaurant.
Wow. Very good. That is good news for that area.
Yeah.
I know, especially after Greenhouse Tavern
Exactly.
closed.
I know,
So
so
that's a sad
abruptly, too.
weekend to see.
All right, Sarah, we'll see you at 6. Thank you very much. Ahead on What's New, high fashion was on full display at the Oscars red carpet party last night. We're going to look at some popular trends and tell you how you can roll them into your wardrobe.
And I can tell you, I really thought the music shined a big spotlight on the Oscars last night, too, Stephanie.
Well, we've got some good music coming to town here. We've got Janet Jackson and Backstreet Boys coming here this summer. And also Myles Garrett was in New York City talking with the NFL. We'll tell you what we know about that.
Matt, what about the roads outside? How are they looking?
Well, I'll tell you what, for a Monday, not too bad area-wide. We are dealing with some fog, though. You see the plethora of cameras we have here. Some reduced visibilities, but nothing below a mile. That's the good news. Elsewhere on the roads, we have one accident to report. This is on 90 eastbound as you're heading out of downtown. Backups all the way up to Dead Man's Curve. This accident's near 105th. And that is being cleared up now. That's the good news. Elsewhere, we are just fine. Posted speed limits, or maybe above some, depending on how you drive. We'll be back with a look at that forecast coming up.
we've been keeping an eye kind of in the background on him. We haven't heard from him for a while, but Myles Garrett is back in the news. He had a meeting with the NFL regarding his suspension. Stephanie, that's part of Clicking in Cleveland today.
That's right, Betsy. So according to Cleveland.com's Mary Kay Cabot, who often joins us here on 3 News, Myles Garrett met with NFL representatives today, including Commissioner Roger Goodell. This was in New York City this morning to talk about reinstatement from his indefinite suspension. As a reminder, he did hit Steelers quarterback Mason Rudolph over the head with the helmet in the regular season this year. He's already been out 6 games because of that, expected to be back soon, as long as he's done the things that he's had to do, which has included counseling. So Garrett posted this video recently on his Instagram, and he says it's time to get to work. So all signs point to a swift reinstatement, assuming he's done all of those things.
He needs to lift more weights, I think.
Definitely.
Just a couple more.
Definitely more weights there. Also coming up this summer, Janet Jackson and the Backstreet Boys are coming to Northeast Ohio. Janet will be coming here with her Black Diamond World Tour. We're going to see new music and, of course, her hits at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse on July 28th. Those tickets go on sale on Thursday. And then the Backstreet Boys also have a world tour of their own. It's called the DNA World Tour. We just got new dates released here in North America. They'll be at Blossom Music Center on July 28th. Those tickets go on sale on Friday. Last minute Valentine's Day gifts, anyone? And here at Cedar Point and Sandusky, they've announced a few key changes to their fast lane tickets. Here's the key points. The Millennium Force has moved to the pricier level, and Val Raven has moved to the cheaper level. Some favorites are also no longer on the list. That includes the Monster and the Troika rides.
Huh. I didn't know there were different levels. I don't pay for the extra stuff.
Yep. There are levels to this, you know?
Okay, so Millennium's at the top tier.
Millennium Force was at the lower level, now it's at the top level, so it's a little more money to get that fast lane pass. Val Raven, though, a little bit cheaper if you want to get the fast pass for that.
I still haven't ridden that one this year. This is the year.
Make it happen.
I will, definitely.
Can we get a camera on you when that happens?
I'd love to.
All right, it's done.
I'm a front row rider, so bring it on.
I am too. It's
Thank
way
you,
better in the
Stephanie.
front seat.
Appreciate it. It is. We get to see everything, and especially
Feel it.
on that Millennium, man. You're getting up toward the top, and you
Yeah.
get a good day with a good view, and you just look around.
Have
and
you
then
done
all of a sudden-
Dragster? Top thrill?
Love
Oh, my
That
gosh,
one in the
right?
front seat is it's
Yeah.
unbelievable. It's like you're being shot out of a rocket.
It's very
cannon.
comparable to forecasting a winter storm that's coming in the meteorology world.
3, 2, 1.
Yes, let's go. It's exciting.
Totally.
So, you guys ready for Weather Word? We've got a
This
pretty
one's
busy
tough.
week ahead.
This one's
Definitely
very
are.
tough.
What
Yeah,
is
this
it?
is.
The winner of the best film last night. It was Parasite.
Yeah.
I don't know how you
I have
won't get
nothing
into
to do
weather.
with this. You know that.
Oh, Betsy,
Yeah.
come on.
No,
you got to
it's-
tell Jay, these aren't meteorological
Yeah.
words. There's no way that
This
could be
was
worked
from
into a
Director Al
forecast.
came up with
Oh,
this.
geez.
That
Well, I'll
figures.
send
It's
Al
a
a
good
thank you card
choice.
for that one coming up tomorrow. All right, you know, guys, I do stats all the time. I just love stats. I noticed there's less cuddling in Northeast Ohio this winter. Have you noticed
How do
that?
you measure that?
Really?
I did a survey online. I got 2 responses.
Very scientific here.
And I think I found out why. Winter nights at 10 degrees or colder. We usually have 10 to 12 nights that are 10 degrees or colder, right? How many have we had this winter?
I'd say 4.
Good call, 0. We've had no nights below 10 degrees, right?
That's amazing.
So we are not cuddling as much, but we've got some cuddle weather in the forecast, as you'll see here in a little bit. But let's talk near term. We've got some fog right now. It's clearing out towards the lakeshore. All of us were in the fog earlier. You can see still reduced visibilities near Ravenna down towards Mansfield. Again, this is going to start to clear out overnight tonight. Still may deal with some lingering fog as we go throughout the morning hour, but we're bringing in some slightly drier air. Temperatures still above freezing. That's the good news. They have fallen back as we've gone throughout the daytime today, but we'll have to watch for some slick surfaces tomorrow morning, perhaps if we have some lingering fog. Here's our system. All the snow we had yesterday now well off the East Coast. We've got lingering moisture down to the south. This is going to cause all sorts of flooding problems for the Tennessee Valley. Another wave back towards Texas. But this system right here, this is our Wednesday, Thursday storm spinning into Baja, California. This is going to take a route like that, and that's going to bring more impactful weather back to the Northeast Ohio area as we go into Wednesday and Thursday. So let's take hour by hour through the forecast. Ugh, cruddy. Just kind of clouds hanging on like a parasite across the area overnight tonight. That's right. That's right. Oh, barely got that one minute. Look what happens. The parasite goes away as we go throughout the morning hours. Eventually, we should bring out some sunshine tomorrow. Temperatures up into the upper 30s. A rather comfortable day, all things considered. And we'll have clouds coming and going as we go into your Tuesday night and Wednesday. But then Wednesday, things start to change after that quiet day. Notice the clouds increasing. That's out ahead of our next weather system. So what's that system look like right now? Well, same as last week. Another slug of moisture that's going to come in here. It's going to move into some colder air. And look how close we are. We're either going to have accumulating snow snow, or we're going to go over to a mix for a time being. But one thing's for sure, we've got much colder air behind that. And there's your cutover weather, everybody. Universal Windows Direct 7-day forecast. Look at the little pothole there, 21 degrees on Valentine's Day, and we're right back up into the 30s. So very interesting forecast. But again, Wednesday, Thursday, a time period to watch.
I have some friends that'll tell you that Valentine's Day is a pothole, so that's very appropriate.
That's not very good, Betsy. That's not a good way
Things
to
get a
describe
little
Valentine's
sassy
Day.
for some people on Valentine's Day.
Well, it is Friday, as we should know by now. I'm sure some of you are either planning to or scrambling to make reservations. Here's our question of the day. Who is responsible in your relationship for making Valentine's Day reservations? Is it you or is it your significant other? WKYC.com/vote now to tell us.
And while you vote, Romney Smith is live at Georgetown in Lakewood. This is a great little spot, very popular. Romney, you are in, or near actually, an igloo, a real igloo in Northeast Ohio. Well, kind of.
Well, we're gonna call it a Cleveland igloo, right?
Okay.
Because it's not a real one with ice. So let me show you. Here is one of them right next to me. And the number one question I know you have is it cold? No. You see this condensation? It's actually heated on the inside. I was in, quite toasty. There are 4 igloos at Georgetown, 2 on the upper level, 2 on the lower level. And not just that, guys, it's Instagrammable. It's an experience you can have with 2 people, 4 people, 6 people, 8 people, even 10. So get a group of girls together, have some drinks or a date. Guys, I'm gonna take you inside that igloo, all decked out for Valentine's Day in about 20 minutes. And trust me, you don't want to miss it.
I love that place, and those little igloos are super cute. I've never been in one, so virtually you'll be taking us there. I appreciate
The
that.
only problem I'd have is
There you go.
if they're bringing a lot of drinks,
Yeah.
you got to unzip that door,
Yeah.
come in.
It's a
in,
pretty small
out, in,
space,
out.
though. That heat will add up. And props to Romney for throwing down the condensation inside. Jason's going to be so proud. It's all good. Jason Fraser, our weekend morning meteorologist, is affianced to Romney. All right, also ahead, the fashion at the Oscars did not disappoint. We look at some of the biggest trends for both men and women and how you can add some of those trends into your everyday wardrobe. I'm expecting lots of tool for you, Jay.
Okay.
Love.
It was just noticing that there was so much pink, so much sequins, so many statement necklaces.
Welcome back to What's New. I'm not exactly sure how many Clevelanders take their fashion cues from Hollywood, but it's still fun to look at the trends each year at the Oscars, and not just the women. One of the trends we noticed for men this year embraced jewelry by adding brooches to their jacket lapels. Last night, we saw a number of guys doing it. Antonio Banderas, also Timothy Chalamet had a little brooch there that you can see on his outfit. They all sported these sort of jewelry, small piece, not large, but it just makes a statement. Do you like my, wait, I'm not done with my vocabulary on fashion. Wait till you hear what I say after the soundbite. Chad Scheibman from Allison Jewelers in Woodmere tells us that it allows the men to show their true colors.
A lot of the designers just, have some inspirations and they'll make things up for celebrities just for them to wear. Elton John last night was wearing a rocket lapel brooch on his sport coat. So it's just an accent to sort of throw off somebody's personality.
I thought Elton pulled off the brooch as well as anybody.
Yes,
I really
yes.
did. I thought it looked great on him. Now, while brooches might be too much for some men, this is the way I watched. I basically, Betsy, I said, you can't go wrong with the classic tuxedo.
True.
Like the one seen here by being modeled by Bradley Cooper. Mm-hmm. Very understated, no frills, classic elegance though. Classic elegance.
And that's your fashion minute with
of
Jay.
my fashion vocabulary. But I thought that Bradley really exemplified that classic elegant look.
You didn't bust out any Billy Porter.
No,
you didn't
because
bring out,
we were going to, but I looked at it and I said,
Spike Lee's purple.
I know nothing about that. I love Spike Lee.
That was pretty sweet.
Yeah,
the
an
glasses
homage
that matched.
to Kobe.
Yeah. Was
Tell us
good.
about the women's fashion,
Well,
ladies.
obviously the women are the ones that take center stage on the red carpet. Everybody waits to see what was going on. Pink was a big color. Green was a big color.
Yeah, red too.
And the typical black and all of that, of course. We have Megan Moran from the Style Foundry joining us now. And is the pink going to be like the big, bold spring color?
I would say, while it's not the color of the year, I think we're going to see pink a ton. Two of the different color palettes we'll see in the springtime are going to be the pastels, ice cream kind of colors, sherbet.
Okay.
And then the other side is like the tropical bright. And so we saw both of that on the red carpet. We saw a lot of blush with Regina King and...
Oh, that was a gorgeous dress.
Yes, and Julia Butters, who was so adorable.
She had a turkey sandwich in that little purse.
That was my favorite part of it. I cracked up. That would be
Go
me.
girl.
And then Idina Menzel shows that other side, that darker, that richer, that pops of that pink. So I think it's super easy for you to add into your wardrobe, and it's worth trying.
And it's not all just about the necklaces and the earrings and the bling. The dresses themselves had a lot of bling, a lot of sparkle and shimmer and shine.
Yeah, so it's something like we typically would see at an award show is some extra bling, but I just think the embellishment, you could really see it. The sequins were everywhere, and I love that because it's something different you can infuse into your everyday wardrobe. I'm wearing a top right now.
You sure are.
This is more, I would say, more of a date night. You can maybe get away with this for business casual, for work if you want to spice things up, but it doesn't have to just be the holidays or something that's a big event.
All right, so your top three from the red carpet.
For sure, Regina King was my favorite.
Stunning.
Amazing. Like the way it fit her, the color was perfect.
You could tell
for
she
her.
liked it too.
Oh,
she
yeah,
walked out, she was like, I look good.
She did. Her arms looked amazing. The way it fit her was perfect. Number two for me was Brie Larson. Again, that pink color came up, but the way that just draped down her, she had the cape almost like she was Superwoman, and again, she rocked it. Lastly, from the guy's perspective, Mark Ruffalo, I really loved his look.
Yeah.
It was almost like a navy tux, which I appreciated, something a little bit different. Like classic is good with a little bit of a twist, and he actually had velvet shoes on, which normally you see leather or patent leather, so it was great to see something a little bit different.
Well, it's definitely see the artists doing their own thing, obviously. Margot Robbie with the black dress and then the brooch right in the middle. I was like, somebody took that and was like, bam, and they just put it on. It was not good for her. And then the tulle Sandra Oh's dress, it was just so over the top.
Yes,
and big.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is the fit. Like when it fits them well, that is with any kind of outfit you wear, it makes a difference, it makes a statement.
And props to Billie Eilish. I did not see Chanel on Billie Eilish coming, that's for sure. Well, ahead on What's New, thank you very much, Megan. Megan Moran, Style Foundry. This sign was posted at a local Taco Bell. It says the dining room is closed closed until the employees can show up on time. Dang, we'll tell you where it is. And we first introduced you to the Shirley Temple King in our Worth the Watch video. Today, he dished his favorite recipe on Ellen, and we have the adorable replay for you.
Two, testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, hello, hello. All right.
I will get pictures.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New with Betsy Kling and Jay Crawford.
So just so everybody knows, to recap the fashion spot that Jay just
Classic
had
elegance.
with the classic elegance, I got a tweet
Timeless.
from Bill Gherkin.
Yes.
Bill says, I get it, Oscar brooches. Bra. Brooches.
I get it now,
I think,
too.
Yeah, I know I had to
It's
do
the
it.
bro. You know, I thought Elton's was particularly fabulous.
I thought he's amazing.
Well,
I mean, I
he
love-
pulls it off no
love
matter
me
what he
some
wears.
Elton John, right?
He's Elton John.
Well, do you know Valentine's Day is Friday?
I
Have you
do-
seen that?
I do now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right? Don't forget.
Sarah reminded me last week.
We are constantly barraging him with this
Yes.
information. Well, we have a heartwarming story about love at first sight. It's part of our Love in the Land series. If you like romance, this is a good
It's a
one.
great story. It really is. And the fake resume that landed Lori Loughlin's daughter at USC has surfaced now. We're going to tell you what's on it. Plus, that Northeast Ohio Taco Bell dining area is closed sign because employees can't make it to work on time. That's a classic. We're going to tell you where that is. But first, let's get you caught up on some of the top headlines here at the bottom of the hour. Russ Mitchell joins us live from his desk in the newsroom. Hello, Russ.
Jay and Betsy, good afternoon, and good afternoon to you at home. There are now more patients with coronavirus on board a quarantine cruise ship than in any country other than China. 65, including 11 Americans, are sick with the virus on the ship, which is docked off the coast of Tokyo. The death toll in China now more than 900, with 40,000 cases reported. Meanwhile, video has surfaced of people being forcibly quarantined in China, some in fact dragged from their apartments. The New Hampshire primary is tomorrow. A new Boston Globe poll shows Bernie Sanders pulling ahead of Pete Buttigieg, followed strongly by Amy Klobuchar, with Joe Biden and Elizabeth Warren close behind. And the Eliana DeFries case will get national attention soon. Her parents sat down with Investigation Discovery last week for a documentary Aliana, you recall, was killed when she was kidnapped off an RTA bus on her way to school in 2017. That show should air sometime this spring. Those are all the headlines at 5:30. Jay and Betsy, Sarah and I will see you at 6.
All right, Russ, thanks. See you then. All right, on to our top talker this half hour. This is just bizarre, Bets. This sign was spotted over the weekend at a Taco Bell in Fairlawn near Akron. It reads, "Dining room is closed until the store's workers can show up to work on time. We will happily serve you through the drive-thru as quickly as possible." We're very sorry for this inconvenience. We reached out to the Taco Bell. Surprisingly, they didn't want to comment.
Right.
Call it what it is. We'd love to have our dining room open, but our workers can't get to work on time.
And it's weird because, each of those are individually owned franchises.
Sure.
So, we're trying to contact the owner. Chances are it was the shift manager that was
or maybe the former shift manager
who ended up having to deal with this. I mean, what do you do if people don't show up? And there's actually a lot of companies, not just fast food, but a lot of companies that are having problems with the minimum wage workers just not showing up.
Getting them to, because if they lose that job by not showing up, they can easily find another one because the employment, as we know, there are more people there are more jobs available right now than there are people looking for jobs. I remember a couple of weeks ago on the front row, we did one of our talkers was the fact that Taco Bell is now paying its managers 6 figures.
Yeah.
So they're having that big of a problem in getting quality talent and retaining them.
And the incentives some of the chains are offering to the minimum wage workers for them to show up. There's college reimbursement. There's some really
it's a lot better than it was when I made
$3.35
an hour at Flip Burgers. They've come a long way, baby.
Definitely.
I saw this item over the weekend, and Betsy, I immediately thought of you, and I said, I have to get her to explain this phenomenon.
Okay.
So this is an amazing picture. It was actually taken at the millisecond that lightning hits the world's tallest building. It's the Burj Khalifa in Dubai. This building, by the way, is fascinating. It's over 2,700 feet. It's half a mile high in the air. And when I read that it's called ribbon lightning, and I said, well, how am I going to find out what that is? And then I thought, well, wait a minute. Bets will know.
Let's ask Betsy.
So I want
All
you
right,
to
let's
move
go.
this out of the way. I want you to explain to me and our audience what in the world is ribbon lightning.
Okay, the interesting thing is you said it was a flash of lightning. It's
Is
actually
it
1, 2, 3, probably 4 flashes of
Really?
lightning in a very short amount of time. Remember, lightning, when it flashes, it's pum.
Yeah.
Okay?
We don't see it that way, though.
We don't see it that way all the
Right.
time, but when you have, high-speed photography, that changes things. The other part of it is, notice it's displaced a little bit.
Right, they're separated a little bit.
They are separated. So the way that this happens is each of the individual flashes are being blown in high-speed winds. Remember, the Burj Khalifa, or however you say it,
That's
is very tall.
Yeah.
It's up in the higher speed, probably a low-level jet stream, so very fast-moving wind in this part of the atmosphere, and it literally blows the lightning bolt down.
That's fascinating.
So every flash is offset just a little tiny bit, and that's what you see in ribbon lightning.
Is it common?
It's noted. People just don't capture it because it's such a fast phenomenon. Anytime you have lightning and high-speed winds, it can happen.
The photographer that got this lovely shot has been trying to get it for 7 years.
There you go, see?
And he finally got it. Very, very cool. Okay, it's time for our pop break. Stephanie Haney's back with that, and she has info concerning the college admission scandal. What is that, Stephanie?
Well, Jay, there are now new documents out showing more about the extent of the college bribery scandal. You know, that one where Lori Loughlin and husband Massimo Giannulli, they're still holding out with those not guilty pleas. Here's your pop break.
Prosecutors have released what they say is the fake resume used to get Lori Loughlin's daughter into the University of Southern California. The first name is blacked out, but the high school graduation year matches up with YouTube star Olivia Jade and includes a list of crew accomplishments, which investigators say are completely false. In case you missed it last night, here's your Oscars rundown. Eminem gave a surprise performance of Lose Yourself, and some people loved it, but a lot of people are still wondering why. Brad Pitt won his first acting Oscar last night and got a little teary-eyed during a speech. Parasite made history as the first non-English speaking film to win Best Picture, and Ohio made a great showing. University of Akron alum Matthew Cherry shouted out the Crown Act when he won Best Animated Short for his film Hair Love, celebrating natural hair. And American Factory won Best Documentary Film for the story of a Chinese company opening a new business in a closed General Motors plant in Dayton. And last week, we brought you the Shirley Temple King, and today he made his dream come true of having a Shirley with Ellen.
Well, like, after you drink them, you're like, that's good. And then, like, you get the spark, and then you're like,
The first grader, who is now Insta-famous for his brutally honest drink reviews,
I'm gonna give it a 9.5.
shared his perfect recipe, why he loves glass instead of plastic cups,
A glass cup, because plastic is bad for the environment.
and, of course, rated drinks made by famous chefs live. Anyone else craving a Shirley Temple right now?
A plastic straw? I hope that wasn't a plastic straw.
Oh no, he had reusable straws
Okay,
on.
all right. If he's worried about the
He for
environment.
sure did.
I loved he was like,
Yeah.
Yep.
I will
Cleanse
never
the
drink a
palate.
Shirley Temple the same way and not think about that young man.
No, and listen to this. Okay, so when we first brought this little guy to your attention, the night before we showed him to people, he had 300 followers. By showtime, when we shared the video last week, he had 27,000.
Wow.
Guess how many he has right now?
I'd say he's over 50.
242,000.
that's how it happens,
And he deserves it. And he has merch now, so you can buy merch.
He has
That's
merch.
amazing. He's got his own little business going.
He's going to be having a very nice college fund
he
down
does.
the road.
For
so
him. Stephanie, thanks.
Thank you very much.
Restaurants are booking up for Valentine's Day. Romney Smith live inside an igloo with ideas you can do at home.
And it's a fake igloo because, as we all know, Matt's made it too warm for igloos to really stick.
That's
so,
right. You're welcome,
Matt,
everybody.
Thanks, Matt.
Can you change this around for us?
I can't. Okay, I will. Here you go. This is what's going to happen over the course of the week. Valentine's Day, you're going to need your jacket because that's coming. Oh, boy. Is that the apocalypse? No, it's just colder air coming our way. We'll let you know what those temps look like coming up in your forecast.
You
Betsy.
mean it's February? What?
It's still winter?
Ah, well, now it's time for our pop quiz. How many people buy their pets a Valentine's Day gift? 6 million, 8 million, or 9 million? The answer on the other side of the
No
break.
idea. Millions, though.
Want to see Michael Bublé in concert from a suite at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse? Go to WKYC.com/contest and enter the code word LOVE for your chance to win a pair of suite tickets. An evening with Michael Bublé. Only from Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse and 3 News.
Well, it's time now for the answer to our pop quiz. How many people buy their pets a Valentine's Day gift? 6, 8, or 9 million, Jay?
That's just a guess. I'm going to say 9 million because we love our pets.
You would be correct.
9 million.
9 million people.
All right.
Here's the interesting part. That study was done by 1-800-Flowers.
So don't be one of the 341
They're
million.
like, all right, so people aren't spending their money on flowers. Where's it going? They're pets.
I always look into those studies and find out who. By the way, that was our lovely producer, Monique's dog.
Was that Mia?
That was Mia.
Mia, very sweet little
Very
puppy.
cute little dog.
Cute.
Definitely.
Yeah, my
Matt?
cats are lucky that I change their litter every day. So it's a lot of work. It stinks, but they're worth it. They're
Your fur
cuddly sometimes.
babies.
I see what you did there.
Yeah,
It does
sometimes.
stink.
Yeah, it does. Anyway, our weather doesn't stink. Boy, over the weekend, we had that burst of snow last night. Everything kind of melted this morning, and things are improving. We've got a quiet couple days, quiet the rest of the day, quiet tomorrow, quiet Wednesday to start, and then we turn active again. So let's get down to the forecast. Still some fog lingering down there. Just confirmed with the Weather Service, low visibility below a mile. Areas of Mansfield now, that stretches down towards Millersburg. Areas of Portage County, Trumbull County still seeing some dense fog. It's clearing up near the lake shore. Overnight tonight, we've got a pretty stagnant air mass, so this fog's going to kind of come and go. Not expecting anything particularly dense, but we'll have to watch because temperatures are going to flirt with freezing. May have some slick surfaces tomorrow morning, but the clouds are going to be stubborn overnight tonight. Temperature's pretty stubborn as well. We'll stay generally in the low 30s down to near 30, perhaps some upper 20s outlying locations, but I think these clouds are going to help to blanket our atmosphere, kind of keep our warmth in here. We've got rain just down to the south. That will stay there. As you look further down to the south and the west, we've got just a constant stream of moisture coming out of the Pacific, actually, and this will cause all sorts of flooding problems. Tennessee Valley, this little wave here is going to float through and kind of dry up as it moves in during the daytime tomorrow, but this one's not going to dry up. This is an area low pressure down towards California. That will take a path like that, gather some Gulf moisture, and that will affect us Wednesday, Thursday as we look ahead in the forecast. But as I mentioned, pretty quiet forecast tonight. The clouds staying tough. There's your morning temperatures tomorrow. You will need a winter jacket out the door as expected. We should clear out for a time being tomorrow. I think we get some bright sunshine tomorrow afternoon. Upper 30s ought to do it. I think a pretty nice Tuesday in store. But then Wednesday we start dry, we start clear, and then look how these clouds just swarm the area. That's out ahead of that system that's going to impact us Wednesday night and Thursday. So let's take a look at it now. Here we go. As we go through time, here's our quiet day tomorrow, but down to the south and the west, here comes our slug of moisture. Now, it all depends on the track of the low. You hear that all the time, but it really makes a difference. And as of right now, this would bring snow in here Wednesday night. That snow would change over to a mix, maybe to rain briefly on Thursday before cold air wraps back in behind the system. It kicks off a little bit of lake effect snow before coming to an end. But wherever that snow is, depending on the track of that low, we may have some pretty decent totals out of this right now over northern Ohio. But again, that will fluctuate. We'll fine-tune that forecast. But one thing's for sure that we do know about cold air, and we've got it. I showed it to you earlier. We've got a blast of Arctic air, but it lasts for one day, much like this winter has gone, right? 38 tomorrow, becoming partly cloudy. Those clouds will increase back on Wednesday. There's your system. We're going with a mix over to late day snow on Thursday, and then much colder Friday before we warm up over the course of the weekend. Betsy?
Thanks a lot, Matt. Boy, we're really going to have to keep an eye on that.
9 on Saturday?
Yeah.
I'm not ready for that.
You will be. It's
I'll
the
have
day
to
after
be.
Valentine's Day. You'll be happy.
Okay.
No worries. Well, it's time to check back in with our Romney Smith. She is live inside an igloo. Although I think we might call these Klee-glues. They're a little different than an igloo.
Oh, I like that. Is that what they're really called, or did
I
you just name
I
them?
just kind of ripped that one out,
Klee-glue.
but yeah. So
I like
there you
that.
go, Lakewood, Georgetown.
Klee-glue.
Take it away.
She's inside.
All right, so here I am, guys. I'm inside an igloo, and I promised you I would invite you in. So come on into my igloo, and let me show you around. If you come here at Georgetown, you can actually have dinner, whether it's dinner for 2, or you could have 4, 6, 8 if you just want some drinks. And yes, it's heated. It's beautifully decorated for Valentine's Day. There's Brianna, our intern. She's going to sample a drink with me later. We also have a charcuterie board, a WKYC pillow, customizable for you guys. And then here we are. So let's chat about this igloo for a second. First off, I took my jacket off. It is heated. It's very nice and toasty in here.
Very warm, yes.
And we can have multiple people. If I want to bring this atmosphere home, how would I do that?
Incorporating pink cocktails, cheese board at home is really easy to recreate with a ton of different flavors. Champagne, always have champagne. It's the go-to. We also did some little games around the igloo just to kind of make it a little bit more fun for people and interactive.
Now, if I come here and I want an igloo, you guys are actually booked up for Valentine's Day, so y'all are already too late, but you're not completely out of luck. When can I come back to the igloo?
So the month of March has some available dates, and all through April is going to be listed on Eventbrite shortly. St. Patrick's Day and Easter are going to be our next 2 themes, so you'll have to come back and see.
So there you go. You can actually enjoy your own igloo, get a group of girls, or have a date that you can plan out. It's really cute. It's warm. And guys, just go online to reserve it. So guys, I think I look pretty good in the igloo. I'm a northerner, right?
You fit in.
Midwesterner, is this?
Just wait till Saturday morning when it's 9 degrees,
so
Romney. We'll send you out. Yeah.
I feel like CO2
right,
could
guys,
be a
I gotta
problem.
enjoy my drink
You
to
get 8
celebrate
people
Georgetown.
breathing.
Oh, no, it's not airtight.
Well,
I mean,
it's
you're
not.
going
It
into
looked-
like
to
the
me,
bubble.
it looked claustrophobic to me. I'm not sure I want to go in there and zip that thing up.
And meanwhile, if you do want to recreate it at your house, just get some sheets and put them in your living room. Make a fort.
Yeah. Oh,
You
yeah.
can totally be blasted.
I bet you do that a lot with your girls.
You can totally do that with your kids
Yeah.
and do it upright that way. I think that'd be fun. All right, you have more insight on our megaphone question about who's making the reservations.
I do. So we've seen a little bit of a shift since earlier today. There were slightly
Ooh.
more people saying that it was them that did the planning earlier today. Now we're saying that it's a few more people leaning toward the significant other that are making the planning towards Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
But to Romney's point about the place being booked up on Valentine's Day, the comments, people are saying a lot of people actually do the planning together for those kinds of events.
Right.
And they do it the day after Valentine's Day.
I saw that's a trend to save big money and to get into the restaurant of your choice.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a way to do it. We don't have any demographics on the vote, if it's men or women.
No,
They're
we
saying
don't.
this.
We don't.
No way.
That'd be fun.
Normally, I don't make reservations, but now that Taco Bell in Fairlawn closed the dining room, I'm gonna have to pick another place. I gotta
Oh,
find.
Tracy.
I think I'm going to ask Tracy to go out for Valentine's Day.
Big spender on Valentine's Day.
We're talking more about love in the land. Here's a story of love at first sight. This is the sweetest story, and how this couple is still going strong 35 years later.
And Dogs Love 3 News just as much as we love dogs. One dog barks every time he sees his favorite 3 News personality. Who is that favorite personality? We will tell you when What's New comes back. I have a guess.
We are celebrating love in the land this week as we lead up to Valentine's Day. No story is the same, but sometimes a couple knows right from the start that they have found the one.
Tonight, a love at first sight meeting at a Little League game as teenagers led to an everlasting union. Lindsey Buckingham tells their tale.
When you think of love at first sight, a romantic comedy may come to mind. Time stopping, eyes locking. But for Gus and Nikki Stefano, all they remember is this.
Mom kind of tricked me into coming down here to help stock the concession stand one morning. No idea that I'd be seeing anyone other than her.
Gus infatuated with the girl he'd never met, but he couldn't talk to her.
I had worked late, I had a ball cap on my head.
I thought at first he was kind of rude.
I wanted to go clean up and brush my teeth.
Okay, so rough start. They were just teens. But on that summer day, back in 1981 at the old Little League ball fields in Eastlake, they knew they were striking up something special.
It's his eyes. He's got these amazing blue eyes, just kind of draw you in.
On Nikki's Sweet 16, they made it official at a festival.
He spent all of his money to buy raffle tickets to win me this giant teddy bear.
Engaged the next year. Then, as it sometimes does, life threw Nikki and Gus a curveball.
We found out I was pregnant, and it was kind of, it was real scary.
Both just graduating from high school, money was tight after their first daughter arrived.
We got married that September, and about a year into a terrible bout with poverty, I decided to enlist in the Air Force, and the Air Force was basically our ticket out of poverty.
The first years as new young parents were difficult. The odds stacked against them.
We had so many people who said how stupid we were.
There was a lot of anger and a determination to say, you know what, we'll just prove them wrong.
Prove them wrong? They did. 4 kids, 6 grandchildren, and more than a dozen moves.
I think if you build into the other person's dreams, then your dreams come true too.
After all these years, they still only have eyes for each other.
I love her beautiful brown eyes, for one thing. Her smile, the fact that I can make her laugh. Maybe I'm a little goofy sometimes. I don't care.
He's helped me believe in myself when I didn't, and he has taught me value in myself that I didn't have. He's just the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Describe your love for Nikki now.
Oh, it's eternal.
I know he means that, so I can't imagine my life with anybody else.
A life, a lot like baseball. A lot of swings, some misses. Teammates for 36 years who wouldn't have it any other way.
I love you.
I love you too.
Lindsey Buckingham, 3 News.
Oh, well, the Stefanos are enjoying empty nester life in Enon, Ohio. Nikki just started a nonprofit job helping girls who were in her same shoes as a teen. You can catch Love in the Land all this week right here on What's New.
Terrific story. Thank you, Lindsey.
Be right back.
Hi, testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hello, hello.
We begin with the search for a missing Maple Heights mother, police say.
It's our Worth the Watch. Who's the 3 News personality that one pup just can't help but watch?
Betsy, you like Betsy? Say hi. Say
It's
hi.
our very own Betsy Kling. Betsy, this little dog, Prince, goes nuts every time you go on the screen.
This is embarrassing.
No, it's not. Embrace it.
I'm big with the 4-legged demo.
We'll see you tomorrow. What Matters Most with Sarah and Russ starts right now.
Get ready, Prince.
Tonight, missing mom. Her kids were found abandoned in an SUV, but police can't find her. The latest live from the scene. Also, dozens of cars, thousands of dollars. A recent rash of car break-ins grows why theft may not be the motive. Bad sportsmanship. A high school player caught on camera ripping another player to the ground by her hair. We'll hear from both schools. Inspired by history. What a local district is doing to get more African Americans